Good morning, everyone. How are we? We well? Are we bullish? Has Bitcoin hit 100K yet?
Almost.
Has anyone checked the charts?
Almost at 100,000.
Almost. I woke up this morning and checked the charts, and it hit a new all-time high. It wicked up to 99,550 as I woke up this morning. That was pretty cool.
Very excited. The best time to be alive. Pretty much everybody who's ever bought Bitcoin and held is in the profit. Almost everybody ever.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here in the Binance Theatre. We have a really, really interesting session here for you this morning. Super stoked to be joined by Evan Luthra. Evan is one of the most prolific crypto investors in South Asia. And we're going to be talking about what he's seeing in the market, what he's been working on, and then to inspire any entrepreneurs in the audience, what he's looking for in his next crypto investment. Evan, welcome to Australia and welcome to the AusCryptoCon.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I was already planning to be in Australia. I was with Rachel, Binance CMO in India a week ago, and she mentioned this is happening here. I was like, this looks very exciting. And then I was in Melbourne. I just flew in today morning, and very excited to be here and see all the energy here. It's very exciting to see so many people excited about crypto. It's a great feeling.
Now, a big part of this session is going to be audience questions. I'm going to get up and get some questions from you guys for Evan, because I can ask some stuff, but I want to hear what you guys have got for Evan today. But yeah, do you want to give us a really quick introduction to your background, how you got into crypto, and why you're still here?
I got started in the technology space pretty early on. I was one of the first few hundred people to build apps for the iPhone. This was 13 years of age. I built about 24 apps, sold my first company at 17. I made a couple million from that and started investing that back into other technology businesses. After selling my company, I was invited to speak at TED. I was at a TV show about my life, seen by over 100 million people, had a couple 100,000 followers. I moved to Silicon Valley, and I came across Coinbase. Coinbase was giving $5 free in Bitcoin to refer new users. So I started referring my followers to Coinbase just to earn that free Bitcoin. Each of that $5 that people got to sign up is worth over $1,500 today, just to sign up on Coinbase. So that tells you the exponential growth that Bitcoin has had. Unfortunately, I didn't think that Bitcoin was going to do so well, so I didn't buy a lot of Bitcoin back then. It was under $300. But I stuck around. I was investing in other Web2 companies and kept investing. And along that journey, I ended up investing in the seed round of XRP Ripple and Hedera Hashcraft at a 10 million valuation. Those companies blew up, and I got 500x on my investments. And I was like, holy shit, this is great. I want to be more involved in this. So the last 7-8 years, I've been pretty much traveling the world, speaking at over 200 events, live in 50 countries, trying to push the movement forward, onboard as many people as I can to the Web3 community, to the crypto community, and to Bitcoin. Most of the value that I bring is a mix of credibility, community, and capital. I've invested in over 500 companies in the Web3 space. These are companies that are pre-launch, so that are not trading yet, that we invested early, not counting my spot bags. I write for all the top-tier media, Cointelegraph, Forbes, Entrepreneur, Hacker Noon, Bean Crypto, and then some other publications. I also run KOL Capital, which is basically my VC. It's a fund that's composed of 500 influencers. I have 3 million followers myself, and all the other people in the group all have 100 to million followers themselves. And we work with various projects, and we invest in them, and then we help them by bringing them the community and helping them with their growth. So that's a quick intro, but I do a lot of different things in the space, but mostly it's just investing and supporting other companies.
Busy guy. Let's jump in. Why is digital ownership important? Why is this interesting to you?
To me, to talk about digital ownership, I wanna ask you guys. So most of you probably have heard about Facebook changing its name to Meta, right? Why Facebook also owns WhatsApp, also owns Instagram. Why would the company with arguably 2 of the most used apps on planet change its name to Meta? Because Facebook makes it money by getting your attention. Facebook works on the attention economy. The more you use their products, the more they make. And probably the reason why Facebook changed its name to Meta is because our attention in the future is going to be in the Metaverse. Most people think of the Metaverse as this virtual world, like in the movie Ready Player One, or this virtual world. But I think Metaverse is a little bit different. Metaverse is, like in AI, you have the idea of singularity. Singularity is when artificial intelligence is smarter than human intelligence. That's when we say we are living in this singularity. And we're getting very, very close to that. I think the metaverse is this moment in time when our digital life matters more to us than our physical life. If you look at how the world's been changing over the last many years, everything is moving digital. Our work, from factories to laptops, from boardrooms to Zoom calls, how we meet friends, from neighbors to followers. How do you meet like-minded people? You meet them on Tinder or you meet them on Reddit. Games. More people play Fortnite than basketball and football combined. Probably more than cricket also. I'm not sure about that. I know cricket is a sport here, but probably either more than cricket or close to cricket. And then even identity. What matters more to you? How do you look on Instagram or how you look like in real life? Filters are literally the new makeup. So everything in our life is going digital. And now with crypto, our assets are also going digital. Bored apes are the new Rolex, right? Fortnite skins are the new skinny jeans. So literally, as our assets go digital, our identity goes digital, the importance of digital ownership starts becoming more and more relevant. And what's going to happen is that eventually all our attention is going to the digital idea. To think about this, look at the world. About a few decades ago, 100% of our attention was on the real world. Then came TVs. That sucked 20% of attention to the digital. We started focusing on TV. Then came computers. That sucked another 20, 30%. And now with iPhones, half of you are already on your phones, half the attention is on the digital world. I was investing and using Google Glass 10 years ago, where there was a screen in front of my eye all the time. It was way too early for its time, so it was not accepted. People did not like somebody walking into the room with a camera on their head and a screen in front of them. But it's going to happen now. With Apple coming with the Apple Vision Pro, Facebook has the Facebook Glass. I just kept mine there. You know, I can use AI and look at things. It's only a matter of time somebody comes out with smart glasses that 80% of your attention is going to the digital world. And that's the time, that's the moment in time when the metaverse, we're living in the metaverse, right? When a digital life matters more to us than our physical life. All our primary assets start becoming the digital world. And this is it's not an overnight change or an invention by an individual like Steve Jobs or something. It's a gradual change that's been happening for over 20 years. Slowly and slowly, the digital life is taking over the physical life, and that's what matters more to people. And I think that's why digital ownership is going to become extremely important, because digital ownership is also really the only true form of ownership, where there's no centralized entity in the middle who can control your assets. When you have your Bitcoin, it's really your Bitcoin. Nobody else can come and take it from you. Nobody can seize it from you. It's truly something that you control. And I think that's why digital ownership is extremely important. And also with identity. You have a way now to have an identity that's relevant across all digital platforms that you can transfer, and it's interoperable. And I think that's what's really exciting to me about digital ownership.
You've made over 500 investments into companies worth over $100 billion. What are you looking for in your next angel investment? And what problems do you think entrepreneurs need to be solving to get your attention?
So for me, I have a very diverse set of things that I look for when I invest. And I like to invest in things that I enjoy. I like to invest in things that make me money, right? So these are the things that I normally look at. I'm in a very fortunate position today that I have access to really good networks. I have access to really good people that allows me to negotiate the best deals. I have a lot of value that I can bring, so I can negotiate the best deals. Honestly, the first thing I look for is what is the deal I'm getting. If I can buy something that's way cheaper than somebody else is going to pay for it, that's the deal I want to do. But when I really look for investing in things, is like I look for the big ideas. What's going to change the world in a big way? And to me, technology is something that's really, really disruptive by itself. Not just crypto, but technology by itself is so disruptive that I think it has this exponential growth. So if you look at most industries grow 20 to 30% a year. They have a linear growth, right? If you look at the chart, they grow linearly. Technology has a J curve. What happens is you invest time and you actually lose money during this time to build something. And once you find the right product market fit, you grow like a rocket. Because to sell an item of clothing, you have to make a new item of clothing. To sell a pizza, you have to make another pizza. You can make an app one time, and tomorrow 7 billion people can use it, right? That's the power of technology. It gives you exponential growth. So I look for really big ideas. I look for scale. And to me, I look for people who come from all kinds of industries and how they're using technology to disrupt their existing industry. You could be a lawyer. You could be a chef. You could be a housewife. And you could come up with an idea how you can use technology to make your industry better. And that's what I really look for. And then we can touch upon this more with decentralization and distributed systems. what Bitcoin, I'm really bullish on Bitcoin generally. It's 50% of my portfolio. But what I'm really excited about is that Bitcoin gave us the idea of decentralized systems and distributed governance. So you finally have a way now where you have this currency that's not controlled by anybody, that everybody controls it, everybody has a say in it, and it's a distributed ledger that everybody can see. It's very transparent. And the governance is extremely distributed too. Everybody has a stakeholder in how Bitcoin is run and how Bitcoin is built. And if you copy this idea over to other businesses and industries, that's when you really open up Pandora's box. I foresee a world 5 years from now where everybody's going to be, every company, everybody's going to have tokens around their business, and those tokens are going to decide how the business works. To really understand this, you have to understand how business works. In a business, there are 3 stakeholders involved. There's the users of the business, there's the managers of the business, and the owners of the business. Right now, all the 3 people want a different thing. The owner wants to make the most money. The manager wants to keep the owner and the user happy. The user wants the best product for the cheapest price. But what really, with technology, with Bitcoin and decentralization, what you really do is you open up the idea of making the user a part owner and a part manager. When you make the user a part owner and a part manager, that's when you can have exponential growth. So, for example, right now, if I ask you, what's the best car according to you? Maybe you said Tesla. What's the best car according to you? Okay, somebody else. What's the best car according to you?
300 series Land Cruiser.
Okay, so
On Binance Australia.
So it's Toyota, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you said Toyota, you say Tesla right now. So you maybe come. I don't drive for 10 years, but you come and ask me, I'll probably say a Rolls Royce. It's very comfy. So it's like, but let's say tomorrow Tesla comes and launches a Tesla token, and Toyota comes and launches a Toyota token. They already have shares, but most people can't access those shares. Majority of the world does not have access to those Tesla shares. But let's say tomorrow Tesla launches a token and Toyota launches a token, and you buy that token and you buy the Toyota token, and then I ask you a question again. You buy the Tesla token, you buy a Toyota token. I ask you the question again. You're going to say, buy a Tesla. You're going to say, buy a Toyota, because you became a part owner. Every time a new Tesla or a new Toyota is sold, you guys will make money. So it's like a share, but it's tradable on the blockchain. It's very transparent, right? And the next step in this is like, by being a holder of those Toyota tokens, you actually become a part manager. Tomorrow, Toyota makes $10 billion. Right now, the board decides where the $10 billion is invested. But let's say we both had Toyota tokens, made a claim. For our small claim, they could propose this. Should we invest in a new yacht? Should we invest in a new plane? Should we invest in a new bicycle? I like to fly a lot, so I'd say invest in a cheaper plane. Maybe you like to go on water. You say invest in a better yacht. So you make the user a part owner and a part manager, and that's when you have really exponential growth come up. And that's what distributed ideas and the decentralization gives us. And that's what really I look for. Who are the people coming up with these really disruptive ideas, using technology, using decentralization to make a big impact that can scale in a major way?
Great answer. You've been wildly successful over your career so far, but not everybody has access to the kind of capital that you do. If you were going to start again tomorrow with $10,000, what would your journey look like?
So what I learned along this journey, and I got started, and my goal was never to make money. You know, I was trying to add value for people around me. I was building iPhone apps for my school, for my university. I built the first app for ICC Cricket World Cup in 2011. Millions of downloads. It was #1 in the Australian App Store too. So I was never trying to make any money. I was just trying to build products to add value to others. And I think that's the best advice I can give. Forget about the money. Forget that you have $10,000 or forget that you have $1,000. Maybe buy Bitcoin with that and then forget about that. But forget trying to make money with your money. The best way to get involved is to come in with the industry with the goal to add value for others. This is an industry that really values value. So if you are able to come in, try to be a community moderator. Find a niche that you're passionate about. Find some industry that you're very passionate about. Could be any industry. And then find a project in crypto that's trying to make that industry better. And say, I want to be a community moderator. I want to help you moderate community. I want to help other people get involved. And I want to just try to help other people find out about the project. When you become a moderator or a community member, you start learning a lot more. It opens up opportunities for you that you would have not even thought was possible. Today, some of the best CEOs I've invested in actually started as moderators themselves. They started helping other people get into the space and adding value for them. So I think the best way to really get involved is to find something that you're passionate about and find a project that's working along those lines and then just try to help out there. Just try to see how you can add value to them. And I think that's the best way to get involved. And there is no blockage. Then you're not going to be thinking about how you can turn your money, how you can get the quickest 10 or 100x, because your idea would be to add value. And honestly, like, I have a lot of businesses in many industries. I have a lot of my staff in other companies. All my companies in crypto, nobody is my staff. Nobody is my employee. Everybody is my partner. They work for me. If the company grows, they grow together. And that's what tokenization enables, right? I have nobody who's my employee. Like, all the other businesses, I have coffee shops, I have fashion companies, I have cannabis companies, I have all kinds of businesses. And everywhere else is an employee. It's a very different kind of a culture. But in crypto and in blockchain, everybody's a partner. Everybody grows together where the company grows. And I think that's the best part about crypto and Web3, and that's what's really exciting here. So really, try to add value for these companies that you're passionate about, and then you can grow from there.
Great answer. We're going to open up for audience questions. We've got about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go roving. You stay there, Evan.
Okay.
Anybody who does ask a good question, I will give you a piece of merch if you come past the Binance booth. But stick your hand up. Who's got a question for Evan? Come on, don't be shy. Yep, all right, over here.
There's something else I can tell you guys is always ask. It never hurts. Worst thing is somebody says no.
I just want to ask, what is the next 10x?
Okay, yeah, everybody wants to know that. So if I knew that, I would put all my money there today too. Honestly, it's very hard to predict what's going to be the next 10x, but it's always easy to connect the dots while looking back. But there are some narratives or some specific narratives that work. Crypto is very much an attention economy. So wherever the attention is, that's where the quickest growths come. The attention this year has been on AI projects. So AI projects have done really, really well. Attention this year has been RWA projects. It's really real-world assets projects where I think that the bull market this year will come mostly from tokenizing real-world assets. That's bringing liquidity on-chain, trillions of dollars worth of assets that exist, fine art, property, that's going to come on-chain. I think those are some of the projects that are doing really, really well. And to your question, I also want to tell people, don't ask others what's the next 10x to buy. A big mistake most people do in crypto is they ask somebody else, what's the coin I should buy, and they don't do their own research. And I've been shouting at the top of my head, do your own research. You got to understand what you're buying, and you got to know what you're buying before you buy it. It's not ideal to just buy something that somebody else is telling you to buy. The key to really do well in this space is to learn that you got to do your own research, and that's when you grow. And if you do your own research, very quickly you will find out what the narratives are. Meme coins are a big narrative also this year, but you got to be very careful when you're investing into meme coins. I don't recommend getting into meme coins if you're not already in the space for at least 6 months. But yeah, that's a big narrative also. So there's attention. Wherever attention is, that's where you're going to focus your energy.
Hey, Evan, thank you for your passion. What do you think about the bottleneck of ID in that space?
So I didn't hear the
identification in the digital space and
Can you be louder? Sorry.
Protecting privacy as digital identity in the space, because my attention on your products is unique. I'm a unit of attention, but I want to protect my privacy.
Yeah, privacy is very interesting in crypto, and I think, to be very honest, I'm invested in a few privacy-first projects. There's a few privacy-first protocols, but Bitcoin actually is very transparent. Every single transaction is on-chain, and that doesn't really make it the best form of money, right? I mean, I don't want to go and buy a pizza and the pizza guy and find out how much I'm worth and what else I've been sending my money to, right? So there is definitely good privacy coins out there. And it's interesting that it's a question, but you know, if you look at 90% of people willingly give up their privacy for convenience. So 90% of people are willing to give up their privacy so they can get a little bit more convenience, and that's where we are right now. So yes, you have the option to have private blockchains. There are Partisia blockchain, Monero. There's a lot of blockchains that are out there that's built on a system where you control how much data you want to share. And DeSci, which is another big narrative, decentralized science, is pretty much based on the whole privacy narrative. How you can bring research papers online, how you can bring project reports online, and share that in a controlled manner, right? So maybe your medical reports, you only want the doctor to see them for a certain time. How do you bring it on chain and still make it, you control how visible it is? It's an interesting narrative, but I still think 90% of people actually willingly give up their privacy for convenience. And right now, crypto needs to become more convenient. One of the biggest factors that's stopping the adoption for crypto is it's too technical. Most people can't understand it. My mother can't understand it. So it's like the convenience factor is more important than the privacy. But eventually, we'll reach a point where you can control privacy. And that's a big problem to solve. So if you can make it convenient and private, that's an opportunity for you.
Sorry, I'm very new to the digital world, so just forgive me if I'm asking a very simple question. You mentioned about ownership. So what's the difference between, like, if I buy shares in Toyota versus Bitcoin in Toyota in terms of, how you influence decision making?
So it's an interesting question, but digital ownership, at least in the right form, is real true ownership. Your shares right now are held with a broker. So your broker can block your shares at any time, or they're held with a centralized exchange. In really a crypto terms, you can hold your assets on your wallet and nobody can take it from you, right? Nobody can steal your Bitcoin from you unless you willingly give it to them. There is no government that can send a legal notice to this bank or to this entity and say, if your money is on an exchange, then they can still send that. But if it's actually in your wallet, in your crypto wallet, no bank, no government, no entity can send a notice and say, seize this guy's assets, right? Nobody can do that. That's the real true digital ownership. If you own something that's really on-chain, then it's yours. Nobody can take it from you. That's the difference between digital ownership and ownership that runs in the current digital world, which is very centralized. So I think that's a very big difference. Probably the safest form of money right now is Bitcoin, is because nobody can take it from you. Really, your Bitcoin is truly yours. No government, no entity can ever take your Bitcoin from you unless you willingly give it up to them.
Hello. What's your predictions for Web3 gaming?
Can you be louder?
Yeah. What's your predictions for Web3 gaming and where it's heading towards next 5-10 years?
So, I mean, I'm a very, very bullish on Web3 gaming. I actually wrote articles about in 2020 where I said the last bull cycle will come because of gaming, and that's actually what happened. The 2020, 2021 bull cycle came because of gaming projects. I'm an investor in 150 gaming projects. Nakamoto Games, Corpo Games, some of the projects I advise done really, really well. So yes, gaming is definitely a great way to onboard users. And you bring digital ownership into games, you really change the whole fundamentals, right? And that's very exciting because right now you play a game like Fortnite, you spend hours and hours and hours playing, you buy these skins, you buy these weapons, and you spend a lot of money and time, and you have this profile, but you leave the game and everything is left. You can't transfer it, you can't sell it, right? But when it's a Web3 game, you can actually spend this time earning these skins, earning these weapons, and you can sell it to somebody else before you leave. So play to earn is a very big concept in crypto, and it's not a new one. It's been there since many years. And I think you see countries like Philippines and Vietnam, and where $20 a day is a really good income. So a lot of people there, like over 5% of the population is playing Web3 games as a job because they can play these games, earn these skins, and sell them to somebody here in Australia who doesn't care about the $20, who's happy to pay the $20 to have that be fast in the game, right? So Web3 gaming is really changing the world in a massive way with creating this infrastructure where the gamers actually own the assets. They're part of the ecosystem, right? It's not a box anymore. You open up the box, and that's what's going to happen anyways. And I think Web3 gaming is going to drive a lot. It's already driving a lot of adoption, but it's going to increase the adoption significantly.
Firstly, thanks for your time today. You sort of touched on this before, but have you seen any opportunities to apply blockchain technologies and tokenization to like healthcare and medical devices?
Your question was blockchain.
DeSci.
DeSci, yeah. DeSci is a big narrative. That's why I said it's actually the talk of the town right now. All the legends in crypto are talking about DeSci, and I think it's a very, very exciting space. There are not that many projects in DeSci that I have looked at, so I'm looking for opportunities in DeSci to invest in myself. But there's not that many projects that are doing that, but it's very, very exciting. I think finally crypto is at a point where it's accepted, right? Trump is very pro-crypto. We have multiple countries where they're building a Bitcoin reserve. El Salvador, I was with the president there recently. Bhutan has $1 billion Bitcoin reserve. In El Salvador, you can actually buy everything with Bitcoin. It's legal tender. Nobody can say no to accepting Bitcoin. It's really crazy there. So, but science was an industry which is so behind doors. You have to go through so much regulation and so much education to even be a scientist, right? So I think now science is really opening up to the idea of blockchain, and it's really opening up to the idea of how you can build better systems and solutions using blockchain. So I think it's going to be a very big narrative. And I think it's going to be one of the narratives that will do really well in the next few months.
If our audience don't already follow you, where can they find you, Evan?
You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Evan Luthra. I also have a Telegram group, Evan Luthra VIP, but Instagram and Twitter is probably the best way. And happy to, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to, maybe take me a while to get back, but I always try to reply and always try to add value.
Thanks so much, mate. That was an awesome session.
Thank you, guys. I'll leave you with one quote. The best way to predict the future is to go build it. Thank you.
Stick around, guys. We've got another panel after this with Binance team members. We'll see you soon.